Well, before I met Christ, I was pretty young. I think I was 9 years old when, I guess you could say, I had my salvation experience. I was at church camp, and the cabin leader was talking with us about what it meant to have a relationship with God, and that evening I prayed the sinner's prayer. But looking back, I mean, that was kind of a point that I could look at and say that's when I was saved, but my life didn't reflect that for a while.
I don't really have a memory of before I met Christ. My mother always made sure that I attended church. I went to Sunday school and the church camps. I think the seeds were planted as a child, and then when I started to go to church with Steve when we were teenagers, and that's when our awesome youth leaders and Sunday school teachers really began to help us establish a relationship with the Lord. And then we got married, and just over the years, it just began to grow, and God would place people in our lives that would bring more growth. And that growth was, of course, began the foundation that built to when we moved to Florida. We'd always said, oh, we're moving to Tennessee. We were leaving Indiana, we're going to move to Tennessee, and all of a sudden we find ourselves moving to Florida. We just said, okay, we'll just trust the Lord, and we leaned on Scripture through that whole episode, and that really began for us to establish really, really trusting in the Word. And then our biggest trial started as a married couple about a year ago.
Yeah, the company I work for stopped being able to make payroll from November of 2008 to June of 2009. I think I got 4 paychecks in that time. We had to live primarily off of hers and her income and our savings that we had. And so through that time we faced a lot of trials with trying to make our bills.
We were short every month, and yet I continued to pay tithe on my paycheck. And I don't know, sometime late into all of this, I thought, oh my gosh, I began to panic, and then I realized, okay, no. I trusted the Lord, and I wanted to continue what we had always done, was to give, and He came through. And then Pastor Brian did another message within a week or two, and it was about when is a good time to give. And I wanted to stand up right then and testify right in the middle of church of it. It's always a good time to give. Psalm 20, verse 7, some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we remember the name of the Lord. And that gave me such peace, because we can't trust in money, we can't trust in our jobs. It's seeking God and trusting Him is what really matters.
And that's our best story ever.